sending a message to Caitlin Clark. I'ma see you at All-Star Weekend. And when I see you, we gon' talk. And it ain't gonna be just me. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be Chelsea Gray. It's gonna be all the activists in the WNBA. We're gonna come knocking on your front door at the hotel room and say, listen.
What you're witnessing isn't merely a bold prediction anymore. It feels like an unmistakable warning. And the situation unfolding before our eyes in real time has quickly become one of the most shocking, unpredictable, and downright unbelievable controversies the WNBA has ever experienced, leaving fans everywhere completely stunned and intensely captivated.
Wow. Let's get right into it, shall we? Like the video, hype the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. Before we get into this, folks, what's going on in the WNBA when it comes to fans talking shit, being mean, saying not nice things? It happens in all sports leagues. These women are just so emotional and so soft, they can't handle it. They've been begging for 30 years, I want attention, but only good attention. As soon as they get that attention, ooh, this is too much attention. Too many people are saying mean things. Too many people are calling me trash. Too many people are saying I can't make layups. Oh my gosh, that person...
Rumors are now circulating that Aya Wilson, Chelsea Gray, and several established veteran players are allegedly planning to confront Caitlin Clark in person during the upcoming All-Star Weekend. Their reported objective is to pressure the young rookie into publicly distancing herself from and denouncing her own fan base in front of everyone.
They're flipping out. They're going cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. And now they're saying, Kathy Engelbert, you have to do something. Pothole6627 is saying not nice things to me on Twitter. Kathy, say something, please. Oh no. Oh no. A random person. Oh, the horror. Chelsea Gray thinks that because she aired this person out, it's going to make people think twice. Yeah, it's going to make them think twice. Should I call her trash or should I call her garbage? Should I say she waddles like a penguin? No? Alright.
I have to say it one more time because it almost sounds too unbelievable to be real, even as those words leave my mouth. Just pause for a moment and truly consider the sheer scale of what's being alleged here, because the magnitude of this entire situation is genuinely difficult to wrap your head around.
So it couldn't be deleted. I think the first person I said it to was my wife. And then after that, I actually group chatted Asia, Jackie, and Jewel about it. And it was the first one was like, post it. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to. I'm just letting you guys know what I've been sent. I texted my agent, told him, and I decided to post it.
She decided to post it after the Indiana Fever game because she knows what kind of optics those are. People have already gone in the archives of her Instagram comments. She's been getting called nasty names for quite a while. But once the Indiana Fever come to town and layeth the smacketh down on the Las Vegas Aces. Oh.
According to these claims, they want her to step in front of a microphone and publicly tell the millions of new fans who only recently discovered women's basketball to switch off their TVs and stop following the sport altogether. Just thinking about that alleged scenario is absolutely staggering, and the entire idea feels almost impossible to believe.
Whooped.
I don't know, enough is kind of enough.
Can't even think of a reason.
It's not necessarily like, yeah, these messages are not the first of its kind. It's not, there was other stuff too. I just decided to share that one.
After the Indiana Fever game, right? Right.
And also, it was just time. I got fed up with it, and I just decided to share it, and maybe I don't share the other ones.
You are so stunning, brave, and courageous, Chelsea Gray. Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
But I know people will think twice now. We're just playing the game.
What are people going to think twice about?
You first have to understand the deeper story behind it all. The real picture only becomes clear when you look back at the league's history. For 27 long years, the WNBA fought relentlessly to earn consistent, lasting mainstream attention, Yet breaking into the national spotlight remained an ongoing challenge.
Or should I say you can't rebound? I don't know. I don't know. Should I say you're the point fraud, or should I say you're the point you need to leave? Oof. I don't know. What do you really think people are going to think twice about? Well, you think someone who's going to call you a racial slur is going to be halfway through writing that racial slur and say, oh man, that's right, Chelsea Gray. That's right, she said people are going to think twice. Oh, let me put my phone down. That ain't going to happen.
That we love, that we work so hard to do,
but
it's just a certain division that needs to be brought to everyone's attention and understanding that, no, this is something that's been going on, and it's just getting to a point where it's like, all right, now.
The league endured an extended stretch where average attendance barely reached around 6,000 fans per game, an exceptionally low figure for a major professional sports league. Television ratings were equally disappointing, with many broadcasts pushed onto obscure cable channels at around 2 o'clock in the morning, airing at times when almost no one was awake or watching, making mainstream exposure incredibly difficult to achieve.
Because at this time, something needs to change.
At All-Star, they want to have an opportunity and a conversation. That's what I was alluding to in the beginning. They're going to walk into Caitlin Clark's room. They're going to knock on the door. Caitlin Clark's going to open the door to her hotel room. She's going to peek through it, and there's going to be that, that sliding thing on the door, and all there's going to be is like the chain. And she's going to peek through and say, oh shit, she's going to try to close the door. And then all the players at one time, Brittany Griner, Asia Wilson, they're all going to just, let me in. They're going to bum rush her. They're going to bum rush into that room. And they're going to tie Caitlin Clark up to a chair.
The entire situation looked completely different for years. Veteran players spent season after season asking for more visibility, corporate sponsorships, and greater public interest in their league. Then everything changed when Caitlin Clark arrived in April 2024. Almost overnight, Indiana Fever games transformed from sparsely filled arenas into packed venues with more than 17,000 passionate fans. Major broadcasters like ESPN quickly shifted WNBA games into premium primetime slots. Merchandise sales skyrocketed by 340% during the opening months of her rookie season, and the league secured a historic $2 billion media rights deal over 11 years, more than tripling its previous contract. By every measure, it should have united the league in celebration, yet it instead sparked deep internal division. Watch that interview again and pay close attention to the veterans' words. They complain about harsh online comments and being labeled as trash, revealing a mindset that struggles with the realities of nationwide attention. That reaction sits at the heart of this controversy and highlights how some players view their relationship with fans. Across every major sport, elite athletes constantly face hostile crowds, relentless media scrutiny, and nonstop criticism online. LeBron James hears insults every game. Tom Brady endured years of Deflategate attacks, and NBA players regularly shoot free throws while opposing arenas chant deeply personal insults. That's simply the reality of competing on the biggest stage. Massive fame and multi-million-dollar opportunities naturally come with public criticism. You cannot embrace the rewards while rejecting the pressure. Yet some WNBA veterans seem to believe they deserve only positive attention. After spending decades seeking mainstream visibility, they appeared to welcome it only if it arrived with universal praise and complete agreement. When Caitlin Clark's enormous fan base brought both passionate support and inevitable criticism, some veterans responded by rejecting the very audience they had long wanted. And to fully understand why, you have to examine the timeline of how these events unfolded. The player at the center of this discussion had reportedly been dealing with negative online messages for months, something she openly acknowledged in the same interview. The key point, however, is that she chose to highlight one specific message immediately after a nationally televised loss to Caitlin Clark's team, a move some view as calculated to shift attention away from the defeat. Before going further, one thing should be made absolutely clear. Racist messages are unacceptable under any circumstances, and no athlete should ever be subjected to hateful abuse. Those responsible deserve serious consequences. The controversy, however, centers on claims that Chelsea Gray is blurring the line between ordinary basketball criticism and genuine racism. Fans criticizing missed layups or declining performance is typical sports commentary, while racial slurs are outright hate speech. Treating both as the same can silence legitimate discussion about on-court performance. Reports also claim that Chelsea Gray, Aya Wilson, and several veteran players intend to confront Caitlin Clark during All-Star Weekend and pressure her into publicly denouncing her own fans. Consider what that would mean. Clark has never publicly encouraged racism, attacked fellow players, or urged supporters to harass anyone. Yet critics argue she is being blamed because a small portion of her enormous fan base behaves poorly online. From a business perspective, that approach appears difficult to justify. The WNBA's reported $2.2 billion media rights agreement and soaring Fever television ratings followed the surge in mainstream attention surrounding Clark, with her games averaging about 1.2 million viewers compared with roughly 300,000 for many previous broadcasts. Asking those new fans to leave would seem counterproductive for a league seeking continued growth. Ultimately, supporters of this view argue the controversy has become less about business decisions and more about something much deeper. At its core, this controversy is presented as a struggle over the league's culture and identity. For decades, the WNBA existed as a small, close-knit community where many players knew one another personally, and much of its fan base was deeply engaged in progressive politics and social justice issues. That environment allowed athletes to express themselves openly without facing the relentless scrutiny that comes with widespread mainstream attention. Then Caitlin Clark entered the league, bringing millions of new fans from a much broader range of backgrounds. Some are politically conservative, some have little interest in activism, many simply enjoy watching great basketball, and unfortunately, a small number behave poorly online. Rather than embracing that complicated reality, critics argue some veteran players appear more comfortable preserving the league's previous culture than adapting to rapid mainstream growth. While they have every right to hold that view, supporters of this perspective argue it is difficult to spend decades seeking national attention and then reject parts of the audience once that attention arrives. They contend that lasting success in professional sports requires accepting both the benefits and challenges of greater visibility. Reports also claim veteran players hope to privately approach Caitlin Clark during All-Star Weekend and encourage her to make a public statement directed at her fan base. According to those reports, they want her to discourage fans who harshly criticize WNBA players online from supporting the league. From Clark's perspective, supporters argue this would place a 22-year-old rookie in an impossible position after enduring one of the most heavily scrutinized debut seasons in women's basketball. She faced intense physical play, constant media questions about issues beyond basketball, and unprecedented public attention while helping drive record interest in the league. Now, critics of this reported plan argue she is being asked to distance herself from the very fans who contributed to that surge in popularity, making the situation a revealing reflection of the challenges the WNBA faces during this period of rapid growth. This controversy goes far beyond one player. It highlights a long-standing tension that became impossible to ignore once the WNBA experienced unprecedented mainstream attention. At its heart are two competing visions for what the league should represent. The first views the WNBA primarily as a platform for social justice, activism, and minority representation, with basketball serving as an important but secondary mission. In this perspective, players are valued not only for their performance, but also for their willingness to speak on issues such as racial justice, LGBTQ+ rights, and pay equity. Financial growth is welcomed only if it does not conflict with those core values or attract fans who reject them. The second vision sees the WNBA first and foremost as a premier professional basketball league. Here, players are judged mainly by their talent, competitiveness, and ability to entertain fans. Social activism is respected but considered a personal choice rather than an expectation. Supporters of this approach believe the league should welcome the broadest possible audience because sustained financial success is essential for long-term stability. These competing philosophies have existed side by side for years, but Caitlin Clark's arrival has brought the divide into full public view. Whether intentionally or not, she has come to symbolize the basketball-first approach. Her rapidly growing fan base includes people with a wide range of political views, while many others simply want to watch elite basketball. That diversity has become a central part of the ongoing debate surrounding the league's future. That growing diversity is presented as the very thing some veteran players find unsettling, preferring the WNBA as a smaller, quieter, and more ideologically unified community. Viewed through that lens, Chelsea Gray's decision to share a racist message after the loss to the Fever is portrayed not simply as condemning online hate, but as an effort to reinforce a particular vision for the league. Critics argue the message suggested that opening the league to millions of new fans also invited greater toxicity, reflecting a desire to preserve the culture that existed before the recent surge in attention. Reports about a planned conversation with Caitlin Clark during All-Star Weekend are framed as an attempt to pressure the rookie into choosing between two competing directions for the league. According to this perspective, she is expected either to publicly distance herself from fans who do not align with that vision or to accept that mainstream success inevitably brings a diverse audience with differing opinions. Supporters of the basketball-first approach also argue that the league's long history of financial losses, relatively modest player salaries, and reliance on outside financial support demonstrate the need for continued growth and broader fan engagement. At the same time, they acknowledge the concern that rapid expansion and mainstream popularity could gradually change or diminish aspects of the league's culture that many longtime players and supporters have valued for years. For nearly 3 decades, the WNBA has been viewed by many as a supportive space for LGBTQ+ athletes and a platform for social justice, allowing players to express themselves without conforming to traditional expectations. Some fear that rapid corporate growth and mainstream success could gradually weaken that identity, bringing pressure from sponsors and a broader audience that may not share the league's long-standing values. Those concerns are understandable, but supporters of continued expansion argue that the league has already entered a new era. Caitlin Clark's arrival brought millions of new fans, record attendance, and a reported $2.2 billion media rights agreement, making widespread attention a reality rather than a possibility. From that perspective, the challenge is no longer whether to embrace growth, but how to balance it with the league's existing culture. Critics of the reported All-Star confrontation also argue that even if Clark publicly distanced herself from parts of her fan base, it would not reverse the league's newfound popularity or solve deeper cultural disagreements. Instead, they believe responsibility should rest with league leadership. They suggest enforcing stronger policies against genuine online hate, working with social media platforms to remove abusive content, educating new fans about the league's history and values without demanding ideological agreement, and encouraging players to clearly distinguish legitimate basketball criticism from actual hate speech. According to this view, those steps would better protect both the league's culture and its long-term growth. Critics argue there is an important distinction that cannot be ignored. When a frustrated fan posts that Chelsea Gray played poorly or missed key shots, that is ordinary sports criticism. But sending racial slurs or hateful messages directly to a player is entirely different and deserves a far stronger response. They also contend that Caitlin Clark should not be expected to police the behavior of millions of supporters, just as stars like LeBron James or Patrick Mahomes cannot control everything their fans say online. Expecting a 22-year-old rookie to manage the actions of such a massive audience is viewed as unrealistic. Looking ahead, many believe league leadership must clearly define its long-term direction. If the WNBA chooses to prioritize activism above all else, it should do so with a full understanding of the potential business consequences. If it instead focuses on maximizing mainstream growth, it must also accept that a larger audience will inevitably include people with a wide range of opinions. Supporters of this view argue that trying to demand both unlimited growth and complete ideological agreement is ultimately unsustainable. They also believe the league should have been celebrating a historic season marked by soaring television ratings, packed arenas, booming merchandise sales, and a landmark media rights agreement. Instead, they argue internal conflict has overshadowed those achievements. As attention now turns toward All-Star Weekend, many are watching closely to see whether the rumored confrontation involving Aya Wilson, Chelsea Gray, and Caitlin Clark actually takes place and what impact it could have on the league's future. The biggest question now is how Caitlin Clark should respond if that reported conversation ever takes place. Supporters of this viewpoint argue she should politely but firmly decline any request to publicly distance herself from her fans. They believe she can clearly condemn racism, hate speech, and all forms of abusive behavior, while also making it clear that she will not tell millions of passionate fans to stop watching women's basketball. From this perspective, continued financial growth, diverse audiences, and public criticism are all natural parts of competing at the highest level of professional sports. They also argue that reaching mainstream success means accepting both praise and criticism. If that position disappoints some veteran players, they believe Clark should remain respectful but stand by her principles. She owes fellow athletes professionalism and respect. Quality supporters say she has consistently demonstrated, but they argue she is not obligated to adopt views that could damage her career, personal brand, or the league's long-term growth. Ultimately, the central question is whether a 22-year-old rookie has the confidence and support to maintain her position if faced with pressure from established veterans. With All-Star Weekend approaching and speculation continuing to build, many are waiting to see how the situation unfolds.